This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 986. Wow. It is the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, speaker, podcaster, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
Fully back from the sabbatical, by the way. And from, I guess, today, she's in Colorado Springs, Colorado, our very own downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Emily, listeners know that you have, for the last year, been gallivanting around the globe, and it's a daily exercise to figure out where you are working from. Why are you in Colorado?
Because it is too hot to be in Texas. Jamie, my heart goes out to you. I couldn't do it. I had to escape to the mountains. It's so nice. I'm wearing fuzzy socks right now.
Oh gosh,
it's so nice out here. I'm so sorry to everyone in the heat. I just couldn't do it.
it is so hot. Like, we like to take our dogs for walks at night, and we're like, how late? Like, it's like the sun is nearly setting by the time we can actually get outside and get a lap in around the neighborhood before, like, me, Aaron, and the dogs don't die. It's so hot right now.
It's
like, what's hot? What's Texas hot?
Yeah.
Like, what is it?
It was like 112.
Yeah, I mean, it's been way over 100 for lots and lots of days in a row.
I want to know, like, what happened with misters? Like, I feel like during COVID, we'd have a lot of misters around because people are eating outside, you know?
Are you saying people are just too casual calling each other by their first name and they're not saying Mr.
Mr. Carey?
Strang?
I think
Carey.
with everyone sweating all the time in this heat and, you know, people just, you know, wearing less, we need to make it up with formality somewhere and just have misters. Mr. Mr. No. When I was at Disney, I took my family to Disney a while ago, and it was the most thrilling ride was, is anyone going to pass out here? Just from heat exhaustion. Like, you know, that was the big, you know, again, can we just or squirt guns? Like, can we just make the best of a bad situation? Can there just be buckets of water balloons like on corners where you could just pick it up and throw it at pedestrians? There's got to be some. I mean, this is I get these are scary times we're living in, and you know, why not squirt guns, and why not have a city that's just a very forward-thinking mayor? If I were mayor, this is what I would do. I'd have beat the heat blocks where it's just ongoing water fights where you could just walk in and out of all day. I think it would do a lot for morale and keep people a little cool.
Jesse, you are aware that the entire west half of the U.S. is in a historic drought. Lake Mead, the Hoover Dam, is like the pipes at the bottom of the lake are getting exposed because the water level is at a dangerously low level.
Waste water.
Yeah, you can't have blocks where you're just shooting water in the air.
It all goes back right to the ground.
Come on.
Right into the
No, it doesn't. It evaporates.
Okay, I have a question then. Cameron, who's been to Rome? I know Cameron has.
I have a couple times.
Emily, Jesse? Okay, so Cameron, in Rome, this was one of the things that was most like crazy to me. There's just water fountains everywhere. Like you just literally bring a cup or put your face under it or your body under it, whatever, over the entire city. I don't mean to be dumb here, but where does that water come from? Where does it go? Like, our first thought was like, can we drink this? And then everyone's drinking it. So we did. Like, how do they get to do that? And we can't do that here in Austin.
They have that in a lot of cities in Europe. Paris has that too. They have like a water system the water pulls from. Yeah, it's like a lot of cities. I know Paris especially. They are very proud of how clean their water is because there's all these water fountains you can just go and use, and it's not like, which is so funny because in America there's so many places that it's like, don't drink the tap water, it will kill you. Which I think someone should really get on that. I don't know who we need to get in contact with.
Why not, for my water fight idea, if we just use seawater? We got plenty of that, and that's rising. We're getting more of that.
Like Indiana's not going to be able to pull from the ocean, right?
Pipes, water fight pipes.
If we learned anything from the Romans, Emily, you build huge aqueducts all over the continent and share the water.
It's all good. From the Atlantic Ocean all the way
straight into Indiana.
Just a slight little trickle. You're just filling up. By the way, guys, I don't know if you guys have seen the latest in water balloon technology. I used to hate water balloon fights when I was a kid because there's nothing worse than spending an afternoon filling up a bucket of water balloons that you spend the entire day filling them up, and then it's done within like 5 minutes of the water fight, right? Yeah. And half of them burst on you when you're trying to tie them. You guys understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about the ones now where you just hook it up to the end of a hose and it fills up 100 balloons at the same time?
Yeah.
They have it too easy.
They have it way too easy. You're not filling up water balloons unless you're spraying them all over you the whole time and you get blisters on your fingers. These ones where you just hook up to the hose and all of a sudden you got like 40 water balloons.
Yeah.
It's depriving kids. I know I sound like an old man here, but we're going to end up with a snowflake generation that never learned to tie a water balloon. And then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. You know,
it's a valuable life skill. You got to learn it.
It really is. It really is. But I like my solution for beating the heat, which is just.
I like your solution too. You know what I did? I moved into this house however many years ago, and it's on a lake, right? And I thought to myself, why would I pay to water my lawn with city water when there's a lake right there? Mm-hmm. So I had them run a pipe from the lake up to my irrigation pump, and I'm just pumping like lake water.
And you can do that? That's okay?
No cop has told me not to. I don't know. I mean, I got a company to do it. So I'm just pumping lake water all over the place and it's free. So like, hey, Jesse, I'll set up a front yard
no one owns
spray station.
No one owns a lake. Just like no one owns the ocean. My water costs as much as anybody's. As far as
just drive by my house, cool off for free. We're all good.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. But yeah, ocean water. Italy's surrounded by ocean water.
Yeah.
Let's just spray.
Just ocean slip and slides. I mean, like I said, we got to do something with the seawater. It's creeping up on us. We all know that.
Is the ramp now going to be a slip and slide from the ocean to Indiana?
You can slip and slide down the ramp.
Oh, all the way.
Slowly, very slowly.
It's a transportation system too. Like instead of making a road trip, you're just like, all right. I got an inner tube. I'll see you guys in about 6 days and I'll be in Indiana.
But there's nothing worse than getting stuck on a slip and slide where you can't move. You're like, get it, and then you stop.
Do that rocking back and forth thing.
Yeah, we're like, we need more baby oil.
A little off ramp.
Baby oil? What are you doing on a slip and slide?
Well, you can throw baby oil on it to get you sliding faster.
Yeah, dishwash soap. You don't do baby water. Biodegradable Dawn is what you use.
Okay, well, whatever you want to use.
She kills her entire lawn. It's just covered in oil.
My aqueducts, my rules. And the rules there are no rules. Whatever you want to throw up there, I don't care. Just keep it moving.
I guess oil and water don't mix, so the oil would just stay separated the whole way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the more we talk about this, the more, I don't know why Pete Buttigieg, our transportation secretary, and erecting water slide aqueducts all over this grand country.
I'm sure he's going to hear this and
easily
implement this.
Yeah.
Some of the most fun we've had at this house is there is a big hill in the backyard that goes into the lake. So I went on Alibaba or whatever and bought like a 200-foot long tarp, like a rubber, plastic tarp. And it's like a mega slip and slide. It's like 50 feet wide and 200 feet long. And we just go up at the top and I put like all these hoses at the top and all this Dawn, soap on it. And then I got these little like surfboard inner tubes that has like two handles, like kickboard type style, but you blow them up. And so we have a whole bunch of those and you just go up to the top of the hill and just right down and you end up in the lake. And then it's so much fun. You want to wear out a bunch of kids. Just put a big old tarp in your backyard. That's all you need.
It's not like when we were kids and we set up the slip and slide, we never really had the foresight to think about where it's ending. And it would always be a little close to the driveway because you want to go the length of the front yard. Yeah. And you're not going to run across the driveway in bare feet. But it was really, could you barrel roll off of the side of the slip and slide before it just ends up with road rash, down the driveway?
See, I'm not paying for that slip and slide brand name markup. You know what I'm saying? I'm going online. You just get a plastic tarp. Give me a hose. We're good to go. I'm old school.
We've done it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we are joined by one of our favorite bands, the Mountain Goats. I know when you saw the episode name, you were curious if we were doing a petting zoo.
Well, Tyler sent me a thing a while ago, said, hey, will you interview mountain goats? And I was like, I guess.
That would be fascinating. That would be fascinating.
And I came back with
shimmy up
hours of tape from my local petting zoo, and it's unusable. But
you should have been more specific. That's on Tyler.
That's on Tyler.
Were they not cooperating with you?
No, it's just their political opinions are shocking. Shocking.
Oh yeah. No, they were cooperative. I just was pretty offended by some of the some of the
too hot
takes.
for podcasting.
Got it.
Mountain goats, they're horrible creatures. They're coming up later. Also, we have your feedback at the end of the show, but stay tuned. Right now, Tyler joins us for Relevant Buzz.
Oh, son of David, have mercy on me. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh Lord, have mercy.
You're listening to Ryan Ellis featuring Brandon Lake. The song is Son of David. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Please welcome Relevant Senior Editor Tyler Huckabee, checking in from our outpost in Paris, France. Bonjour, Tyler.
Bonjour, everybody. The Paris office. We're live and kicking.
Hey, has the Paris office gotten any AC installed? Because yesterday I sent him a message. I wanted to chat with him real quick, and he was like, and then a minute later he's like, I need to find a shirt. And so, he was so hot. I was like, take your time, buddy. It's all good.
How are you? We were just talking about how we're beating the heat here, which is stealing municipal water for our own purposes and possibly constructing a very elaborate aqueduct / slip and slide system
nationwide.
Smart. I want to let you know how Americans are thinking. Yeah. Obviously, very known for our ingenuity.
We're thinking like Romans. What are you talking about? We're not inventing anything.
How are you Parisians beating the heat?
I can only speak for this Parisian, because I stayed pretty locked up in my house all day. Today I'm recording this on the 20th. The heat has broken here for now, so today feels pretty good. Yesterday, the couple days beforehand, it got a little toasty here. We used a few things at our disposal, including what the French call a swamp cooler, which I had never heard of. Okay. But we bought one of these, and it looks kind of like an air conditioning unit, but it's a fan, and you pour ice water in the back of it, and then the fan like blows the ice water, like the steam that comes off that water, basically. It blows like into your apartment.
Yeah, almost like
I don't know if it worked.
Thank you.
I don't know if it was it was like, but you don't even get the mist, really. It's just like, basically, like I did hear some weird like hacks for beating the heat here. You could tell these people aren't really used to this heat. Somebody was saying like, eat 4 pints of ice cream during the day, and that'll cool your body off in the evening. And they were serious. This was their idea. I think it was.
Listen, if there's one thing, I did it. If there's one thing I know about trying to stave off heat exhaustion and heat stroke, it's you want to have as much dairy in your belly as possible at all.
Exactly. Yeah. Just chug milk.
What a fantastic decision that is.
Milk was a very bad choice. Yeah, yesterday was, when we recorded this, yesterday was record-setting heat all time in London, which isn't far from Paris, and Paris was melting. I saw that the Royal Air Force had to shut down one of their bases because the planes couldn't take off because the runway melted. literally the Air Force runway melted in the UK. It's obvious, like it is no joke. A lot of death, a lot of animals not making it. It's really, really sad.
Yeah, it is. You can Google images, and you should, because they are pretty haunting, of like traffic lights melting in the heat in Paris. And there's of course wildfires here in France, in the south of France, quite a ways from Paris. So I'm not having to deal with it just yet. But we're making light of it, and people are joking about it here in Europe, which is kind of the European way, obviously. But it is obviously very, very serious, and the result of warnings that have been sounding for decades. Too bad. It would have been nice if somebody had heeded those warnings, but too late now. So no use crying over spilled milk, especially when we're using all that milk.
Yeah,
try to stay cool.
It's the one chance we have. It's just everyone on Earth just drink insane amounts of milk, and maybe we'll all get through this.
Gross.
If center left / progressive politicians had any strategic smarts, it would be this week, right now, that they'd all be pushing through climate change legislation, because everybody can go, I don't like this. Let's do better.
I don't want my runway melting.
Push it in October when everybody's like, it's lovely outside. This isn't a crisis. You know what I mean? Like, they need to do it right now.
Having their most boring guy release like a PowerPoint documentary 15 years too early. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you.
Bad strategy.
He was coming off of a high. He had just invented the internet. He was on a hot streak. He felt really good about it, and then the whole thing just crashed into the ground.
Speaking of relevant buzz, tell us what else is going on in 2003. Yeah,
right, Messenger. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Well, the first thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of, have you guys seen any of this or heard of a new social media platform called Be Real? So one of those one-word things, Be Real, BRREAL.
Yeah,
Emily, I know you have. Emily is our Gen Z, our Zillennial reporter.
I learned about it by reading relevantmagazine.com this week. So thank you for keeping me in the know.
Perfect.
But I would not have known prior to that.
That's Emily. And I had like seen some memes about it, but I didn't really understand. It was like, this is a thing that I don't understand, so I wasn't really sure. And Emily did a great write-up over at Relevant. You can go read about it there, because it is interesting. But I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this, because it is sort of an interesting counter. It's very counter to every other social media platform that's out there right now, and it's becoming quite popular. So Be Real is the way it works, and Emily, you can correct me if I got any of this wrong, but I'm pulling from your notes, so hopefully they're not too wrong. Be Real is apparently it's operating as kind of like a casual Instagram, a way of taking out the curation, the filters, the way that you can sort of make your life look a lot better than it is. This is deliberately structured to make your life as real and unfiltered and unedited as possible on social media. No filters, no uploads. Each day, if you're a Be Real user, you receive a notification that gives you a 2-minute window to post one photo. So you have a window that comes at you out of the blue. You don't know what's going to happen. You got to be ready for it. You have 2 minutes to post. And when you post, the app uses your front and rear facing camera to capture a full picture of what you're actually doing. So it takes a picture of your face, takes a picture of what's behind the camera, where you're at. It posts them together, and then it just posts that to social media. That is the only thing you can do on Be Real right now. You cannot see how many followers you have. You cannot see likes. You cannot see, there's no comment section. There's no interaction. It is purely a social media app that's designed to show people who follow you exactly what you're doing on any given day. And that is Be Real. So that, Emily, did I get that mostly right? Is that the general idea?
Comments, but they're not visible. Like you have to click something to see them. So it really is, as you scroll it, you just see photos.
Oh, okay. I see. All right.
Okay. So you get the notification. Once you open the notification, you have 2 minutes to post a photo. I might not see the notification till 30 minutes after I got the notification. I can still post, but once I open the app, you then have 2 minutes to post. So,
okay.
So theoretically, you could run, if you know there's a notification, you could run out to the pool.
Sure.
Kick your shoes off, prop up, get your like cool book out, your Edith Wharton novel out or something like that, and take that. So theoretically, you could do it like that if you wanted to game the system.
That's good to know, because like if you get the notification let's say 30 minutes after you had lunch at Taco Bell.
Exactly.
You don't want to roll the dice. You don't want to roll the dice.
I don't want to take a picture.
I have a general rule of thumb. I'm very conscious what happens 30 minutes after a Taco Bell meal because the outcome can be very unpredictable. It's just good rule. Yeah.
I have shut my phone off. I've turned off the lights in the house. I've pulled the blinds.
Yeah. We're
settling in.
Well, I got a window about 45 minutes where I need to lay low and just know the proximity to the restroom. And, maybe I need a glass of water in case I start getting the meat sweats. Yeah.
Or milk.
Yeah.
Or milk if it's hot.
I think you're hatching an idea for an even better social media app called Too Real. So it's like Be Real Plus, Too Real, where you really really unfiltered to the point where you're like, I wish there was a filter here. I would love for there to be a filter, but it can't.
It sounds more like an interesting social experiment than it does like a usable social media platform to me. Like I do think like let's strip away all the stuff that people complain about from Instagram, but also all the stuff they secretly love about it. You know what I mean? And see, here you go. Right. Now do you like it's like they put pudding at the end of a salad bar for a reason, right? Like you can tell yourself you want that salad bar, and I'm doing the healthy option. But when I look at it at the end, you got a big slather of pudding on the corner of the plate, and about half of the things on your salad are like diced up ham cubes, right? Like, who are you kidding here? Okay, just go to you get the analogy though, right? Like you can tell yourself you're, I do.
Yeah, you're right.
Hopefully it works,
Maybe it was launched by Meta. Maybe they're behind it. So secretly, you're saying no, it wasn't. You don't know what the shadow companies are doing, but the idea of them saying, "Oh, you don't like our algorithm and what we've done to Instagram." Well, here's the other option, and it's so bad that everybody's like, "Okay, never mind. We don't want that. We love Instagram now." Maybe they're doing it to make themselves look better. That's what I think. There you go.
This is actually making me like Instagram even less.
Oh,
so. Like I have a friend.
Are you on Be Real, Emily?
I am, yeah. And I actually have a friend who this is now the only social media she uses. She got off she was already off everything else. She had Instagram and now she's like, I don't want to go on Instagram again. So it is funny because probably 90% of like my feed when I scroll through it, like everyone's just either at work or like watching a movie on their couch. Like it is very casual. But it is also really good to remember not everyone, like I did post on Instagram yesterday that I took a walk through the mountains. For my Be Real, it was me sitting like at this desk with my computer. And it's like, that's what my day looks like most of the time. For an hour, my life looked walking through a mountain, but the other 23 hours I was in this, so it's just a good,
you're working at one of the most exciting media companies in the world. Yeah, that's it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Sorry to break the illusion.
No, but isn't that part of the and I'm just playing devil's advocate here to a degree, but isn't that part of like if I get it, most people's day-to-day lives are pretty boring. That's why Instagram works, is because it just shows us the interesting parts. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in a Zoom I spend a lot of time in Zoom meetings or on phone calls. Most of the time I'm looking at people staring at a screen, looking back at me, right? Like, I feel like when I scroll, it's usually just for some sort of escapism from sort of the mundanity. Again, there's hey, good for them to find like a contrarian sort of a way to share your life. I just question the, how much reach it's actually going to have. Not that I'm like trying to disparage it.
It's a gimmick. It got a headline. It'll be done in a month. Not in a month, but I mean, it's just not going to. It's cool.
I have hopes it'll take off.
It's worth talking about.
I do wonder if there's like a halfway house. Like, could there be a middle? Could this spark some sort of middle ground? Like we've known.
Wait,
we've
are you
talked
saying
about it
social
on this
media
podcast.
app for former addicts and convicts? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't mean that kind of halfway house. I didn't mean that kind of halfway. I meant a midway point between Instagram, which we know has sort of has caused mental health issues in its users because of unrealistic body types and expectations of what their lives can look like, and Be Real, which maybe is a little too bland to really take off in a serious way. But I would like to see more brands finding ways to push back and and actually try to help their users. So maybe this could be a step in that direction. I don't know. I'm not on Be Real, not yet.
Speaking of Be Real, did you see the story where a little boy picked up his dad's phone and posted a photo on Instagram of his face? He's like smiling, but his dad's naked in the shower behind him.
No.
Worst case.
Be a little
Worst
too
case.
real. Too real.
Y'all.
First of all,
Terrible.
why do you follow that account? Number one.
I saw it on a news source.
Number two, I thought Instagram blocked photos like that.
Eventually, right? You have to flag it.
Oh, so Jamie, you screenshotted it right away. You were like, oh, this will get, oh.
It was like getting passed around. I did not see this. No. I did not see it.
Kind of like he was being real. That's all that was happening. Just
too real.
That was on Too Real. Yeah.
Too real.
Very real. Yeah.
being a little real.
Too real.
Yeah.
Be Real Plus.
Be Real After Dark.
I texted y'all a photo. I texted y'all a screenshot of it. So
please don't.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to get flagged.
Do that.
It's on the news. It's this cute little kid, but look behind him and his dad's naked in the shower.
Let's
My
not.
Covenant eyes is going to be popping
You
up.
just made my messages
People
app
want
get
real
flagged.
life. This is what we like.
There's my pastor. He just texted me.
You're going to be getting a call from Pastor anytime now.
Jamie, I looked at it. It was funny.
It's funny.
My new
It's
French
funny.
pastor.
All right, what else you have, Tyler?
All right. Just as a quick warning, this next story is not dark, but it does discuss self-harm, and so I want to make people aware of that in case you're sensitive to that. Just say that off the top. So I want to talk about Constance Wu. Constance Wu, actress in Crazy Rich Asians, also the star of Fresh Off the Boat. Now, a few years ago, you might remember Emily. I'm sure you remember as our celebrity gossip columnist. I keep pulling you in to do tag team on this, but do you remember the little bit of controversy when Constance Wu got kind of like mildly dogpiled in 2018? Do you remember what happened there?
Yeah, so Fresh Off the Boat had gotten renewed, and I tweeted, I believe, and she just was not thrilled about it because of its renewal, she had to pass on a passion project that she really wanted to, and people.
The Passion of the Christ?
No, I
was
don't
going to
think she was
the
going to be
reboot.
Jesus.
The reboot.
She's Mother Mary.
Oh yeah, sorry. But a lot of people,
Passion Project.
a lot of people just absolutely flamed her and said she was being ungrateful and that she should think of if the show had gotten canceled, so many other people would lose their jobs. Just were very rude to her. It was very hard to watch.
It was like a few days of kind of blasting for being a little out of touch or coming across as elitist. And then, like so many of these things do, it's here and gone. Nobody would have remembered it. And for a few days, you feel like everybody on the internet hates you, and then it's over. Well, she went off the internet at that time and was off the internet then for a few subsequent years. She came back just a few days ago and told what had happened in the subsequent years, and that she had heard not only from everybody on the internet but also from some of her colleagues in Hollywood and the acting profession that she was being very, very ungrateful, said that she didn't deserve her part, that she didn't deserve to have a job in Hollywood, and she said that she attempted suicide following that she was so down and so distressed over it. She said, fortunately, a friend found her, took her to the emergency room, and fortunately, she was alive. And she's said she's back. She's ready to try acting again. She's written a book about the experience. She said, and this is a quote, it ignited outrage and internet shaming that was very severe. I felt awful about what I'd said. And when a few DMs from fellow Asian actresses told me I'd become a blight on the Asian American community, I started feeling like I didn't even deserve to live anymore. I was a disgrace to Asian Americans, and they'd be better off without me. So that's the story that she's trying to tell right now. And I think this is something that's just so hard to remember in these internet pile-ons, is that person on the other side of it, and you just don't know what mental health state they're in, and if they're prepared to handle those sorts of dunks, the ratios that can oftentimes be, good natured if you don't know them, or you're just having a good time kind of joining in the person of the day tag game that everybody plays on social media. But for somebody like Constance Wu, who certainly seemed to have it all together, has a good career going, is working in Hollywood, it very nearly cost her her life. And it's really, I know we talk about this a lot, but it is really, really important to remember the flesh and blood people on the other side of these internet conversations and how easily these things can go awry.
And I mean, it never ceases to be like the weird little human nature impulse, especially the one that is amplified probably by social media algorithms, just because they, whether intentionally designed that way or just by default of them attracting a lot of attention. But it's like, here is a person I've never met in an industry I know almost nothing about, involved in a situation that affects my life in no way possible. Here's my meanest take about them. It's like, why? What is this info? Where does it come from? Like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes too, like people think, oh, she's famous. Like I get to tell her what I want to her to do or to think about her because she's famous. Like I think people do that with professional athletes as well. Like, okay, you make like $100 billion a year. You have to talk to me when I see you in the store because you work for me, which is like this weird way that I would call us just like normal pedestrian people here look at famous people and think you owe me something because you're famous. And it's like you said, we're just forgetting that's actually just a real life person who, if they had a Be Real app, they would just be sitting at their computer too, throughout the day. Just, I mean, obviously they have some parts of their life that are glamorous, but most of them would probably say like, I hate that part. I hate the glamorous stuff. Like, I just want to be with my family and do a normal person's life. So, yeah, I hate it.
Yeah. I mean, there was an entire episode of The Kardashians where they very excitedly went to the grocery store and got their car washed like normal people. And it was the first time they'd done that in years. How fun. We're like the normies. I was like, come on.
Yeah. I do. But even that stuff is like this things that Kim Kardashian probably has gotten said to her and about her on social media channels would probably freeze the blood to ice in our veins if we could see like 0.05% of it, and it's and that sort of stuff. They've grown up in it, and I'm sure they have people, multiple layers of filters between them and the worst of that type of content. But it is still, and she said something that I thought was really good at the end of the note. She said, Asian Americans don't talk about mental health enough. We're quick to celebrate representation wins, but there's a lot of avoidance around the more uncomfortable issues within our community. Even my tweets became a subject so touchy that most of my Asian American colleagues decided that was the time to avoid me or ice me out. I admit it hurt a lot, but it also made me realize how important it is to reach out and care for people who are going through a hard time. And that is, I don't think you'll ever regret if you suspect that somebody's going through something, if you have reason to believe that they've, been through their own, whether it's being canceled online or just, what to be a bad day. I don't think you ever regret reaching out and saying, hey, I hope you're doing well. I'm thinking of you. And I'm glad that she had friends in her life who could do it.
I think it's also important to remember 2018 was actually a really big year for her. That was the year that Crazy Rich Asians came out. And that was a huge win for the Asian American community. And so for all of these people to immediately jump on her and say well, you shouldn't have been, there were people saying I wish someone else had been cast in that role. And it's we had 2 months ago, we were just celebrating that she was bringing, this story, or she was part of bringing this story to the big screen. And now she shouldn't even be in the credits. And she's she's the lead character in it, and it's so, we talk about, you don't know what people are going through. She arguably was at the top of her career. And even then, the word, getting piled on like that for anybody, it doesn't matter how high you are, you can come down so low very quickly. And I think that's important to remember, is that it's not just someone in their low being hit is going to be hard, but you could be doing great and then have people, no one likes people commenting on them. I don't know anybody that loves negative comments. If they do, they're lying. And so I think that's just really important to remember too, that it's not just the people that are already in a low place, but anybody can quickly get to a bad
Emily,
place.
You could just tell me directly. I apologize for the messages I sent you on Be Real, okay?
I was
the
just
Be Real
noting.
comment.
I'm sorry. You don't have to put me on blast like that. God.
I thought that was
I
the
was
whole point.
concerned that you had Taco Bell 30 minutes ago and you're posting on Be. I'm sorry. Anyway,
posted a Be Real of my face and an oncoming car while I was driving. I was behind the wheel. I was concerned.
Episode. Well, it's I guess I can spoil it because it's 6 years old of Black Mirror called "Hated in the Nation." That deals. It was sort of apocryphal because it came out in 2016, I think. Have you guys seen that episode? where essentially,
I have, yes.
And if you're looking for an interesting parable about the power of cancel culture, like the premise is people who are the subject of this certain hashtag where, they've done something that outrages the public, whether deserving or undeserving or whatever degree of deserving, and people start tweeting about them. Once the hashtag hits a certain level, that person dies this mysterious death. And it kind of comes out that, like all things with Black Mirror, there's a lot of little tech stuff going on behind the scenes. But, the government had made electronic bees that would replace the bees that are dying. But somehow the bees get involved in this algorithm and start targeting people who they think are targets of like collective hate. But anyway, it's a really interesting parable about our tendency to, inflict real world harm through what we see as just one harmless little tweet that kind of throws into the void. But in that episode, obviously, that's a literal and a metaphor for, tipping the scale of somebody's mental health and causing them real harm just because we like the satisfaction of pointing out other people's wrongs. Most likely just feel better about ourselves. And that's what I think the impulse that I think, needs to be kind of held in check sometimes.
Jesse, I think you got your shows mixed up. I believe the killer bees robots that the government controls, I think that was in Austin Powers 3. I think game domination.
I conflate a lot of the Austin Powers series with Black Mirror all the time. Yeah.
They're so similar.
A lot of people remember Mike Myers' affinity for thoughtful and often haunting parables about the modern human condition when infused with technological advances throughout his career. Looking at you, Love Guru.
Hey, I saw Master of Disguise.
All right. What else do you have, Tyler? Anything?
The final one. This is always good to see this guy come back. Marcus Mumford is back. He has sons. It is just Marcus. He is doing a solo album that is called Self-Titled, and we have our first single, and here is a clip of it.
But when I began to tell, it became the hardest thing I ever said out loud. The words got locked in my throat. Man, I choked. And this is what it feels like to be free, even though it follows back down stairs into the dark with me.
That song is called Cannonball, and there's a music video directed by some guy named Steven Spielberg that you can watch over at relevantmagazine.com. Steven Spielberg's first ever music video that he's ever done.
Hopefully not his last.
And hopefully not his last.
I wonder if he doesn't return to the Sons, could they just start a band called Mumford's Sons? Like possessive Mumford's Sons? I feel like they probably want to keep the brand together, and that seems like, well, technically you are Mumford Sons. Sure. If I were to believe the last band name, that seems like a fair split for both parties.
When people, I'm talking like it's still 2011, but a lot of the Mumford & Sons music, obviously a lot of people could extract spiritual tones in it. This feels Christian. I can't put my finger on it. Y'all know the whole family is Christian. They're leaders
PK,
at Holy Trinity Brompton in London. They're in the worship scene. Just like Chris Martin from Coldplay, his entire family are worship leaders at the Vineyard in London. And he's like the black sheep of the family because he's the only one that's not like vocationally at like working in the church.
Is that really true?
Yeah. And Marcus Mumford is the same. He's not a black sheep. He goes to the church and stuff. But that's their home church is Holy Trinity Brompton. So like you're not crazy when you feel the spiritual notes in Coldplay and Mumford music. It comes from their DNA. So,
and it's weird now how every church is trying to sound like either Coldplay or Mumford & Sons. And they're the two that came out of that.
We can't speak for the parents of the Sons, though. They were in all kinds of. They were dabbling in all types.
Oh no, they're ragamuffins from the other side of the town.
No idea.
Yeah. All right, there you go. That'll do it for Relevant Buzz. There's a whole lot more. We cover stuff all day, every day. Make sure to follow along at relevantmagazine.com and follow us on all the socials for the latest. Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, everybody.
Au revoir.
See you, man.
Au revoir.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, the Mountain Goats join us. listening to Lenny Rayan. The song is Waste Your Time, which listening to this podcast does not do. Does not waste your time. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times best-selling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonnassy investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting GodTheScienceTheEvidence.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is John Darnielle from the Mountain Goats. They're an indie folk band who've been making some of our favorite music for over 30 years now. John sat down with our very own Tyler Huckabee to talk about the importance of all the small choices we make in life, how he's choosing to forge his own path, and the CCM music he's really, really passionate about. You probably saw our feature with the Mountain Goats in the summer issue of Relevant, which is out now. We've been pushing it out over the last couple of weeks. Well, this is part of that conversation. Here is John Darnielle from the Mountain Goats.
For the pedal at the green light, watch the traffic all drift right, barrel forward, unimpeded. Switch lanes as needed, be flexible.
I really did, and I don't just say this, or I wouldn't just kind of butter you up with this, but I really enjoyed the album a lot. I thought it was really, really fun, and it felt very different. It felt very different for me from other Mountain Goats albums, but it sounds like what I'm hearing you say is it was almost a return to form in some ways for the kind of least writing that you used to do.
The writing process is. The writing is different. The recording is in line with the last few, where we always have a guest on, get some other people in the studio to inspire and stuff. But I mean, the thing is, like, it was also the conditions for writing it are completely unique in our lives, insofar as, like, we hadn't, we'd only seen each other for the live stream that we did in the summer. And short of that, we'd gone a whole year barely seeing each other at all, whereas normally we see each other every 6 weeks, it's like constant. And we're on tour, we're making music. And instead, for 9 or 10 months, we'd been at home, right? And that for all of us was very dislocating, right? Which is ironic because we were in the same location, but it was very dislocating. It was an arrest to this constant movement that we in the band have all been on for 10 or 15 or 20 or 25 years. And so we got back together in a house in the woods, and it felt really amazing just before we even played a note of music. It really just was great to be sort of back in our feeling the momentum again. And that, I think, is what you really hear is real drive, to make the record. But I mean, there's other stuff in there too. It's also that Alicia produced it, and there's some differences there. It's up tempo, right? I haven't done a record where there's like no down tempo songs at all in a million years, if ever. So Bleed Out is the only one with the tempo flags. Otherwise, it's all fast stuff. And these are all, it was sort of just something I felt like doing, I mean, it probably reflects some agitation in having been in the house for the big part of the year.
I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. Games in a drunken haze. I was 17 years young. Hurt my knuckles punching the machines.
Do you feel like, having had some time away, both away from the road and now being back, getting ready to be back on it again, there seems to me like, as I've interviewed a lot of artists about this, a sense of almost responsibility. Like, people are coming to a show looking for something that they haven't gotten in a little while. Is that a responsibility that you feel, or is that a sense that you get from the people who come to a Mountain Goats show?
I mean, the feeling we got when we went back out a year ago last August was like, people are really excited to hear live music. I mean, because live music is special, and it's not reproducible, right? It's like the best live album in the world is not the same as standing in a room where it happens, right? And so, and you could feel it. The first show, I remember what it was. It was August the 6th in Asheville, and people were just, you could feel the electricity, and that was during the Delta surge. So the first show was unmasked pretty much, and by the third night it was getting gnarly. So, but yeah, no, there's for everybody, for us on stage and the audience, there's an increased feeling of gratitude. That would be the ideal thing to take out of all this. If when I say ideal, I say that with some bitterness, because we're not going to get the ideal outcome from this, but the feeling of gratitude to be back at it after not being able to do it, I think is a shared feeling on either side of the apron. Yeah.
Well, what is a life of resistance, or at least in your life, what is learning to resist these societal or cultural impulses? How does that work? How do you even do that without driving yourself crazy or spending every day like going against the grain?
No, well, that's the thing. I just live my life. I like everybody else, when I'm talking about these ideas, we're talking about ideas, right? I mean, but in my day to day, I wake up and I do what's in front of me. I cook or whatever, but it's a bunch of. I mean, I think there's a line I keep referring to lately, and I'm pretty sure it's in Mere Christianity, but it might be in the Screwtape Letters, right? Where C.S. Lewis talks about all the small choices you make eventually shaping the person you become, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if he's talking about whether you're going to be wind up being acceptable to God or not, right? So that making. And he does a very attractive thing. I think it feels like it's in Screwtape and not in Christianity, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time. But what he's talking about is like, if you make the big choice to murder someone, right, that may or may not tell me much about you, right? It might have been a bad time in your life. You might have been on a lot of drugs. You might have been defending yourself. You wind up committing murder. That's terrible, right? But if you every day choose to be a little petty, right? If you every day deny somebody a little help that you could give at no cost to you, no real cost to yourself, right? You are going to become a much worse person than the guy who murdered somebody one time, right? By the time you're 50, you're going to be an unpleasant person to be around. Everybody will know it, right? It's like, and you will have a hard time getting back to be the person that that presumably you would want to be, like a person about whom people say, well, he's generous, he's, a good person with decent values. Whereas the person who murdered somebody once, a lot of people say, well, that guy's just a murderer. But this is why we talk about circumstances. This is why when we frame justice issues, we have to look at bigger pictures than just what was the crime, because the choices you make every day the person you will become, whether you believe in some afterlife or not. I think that seems almost self-evident, right? That every day the way you choose to react in the moment to whatever, right?
Raskolnikov felt sick, but he couldn't say why. When he saw his face reflected in his victim's twinkling eye. Some things you'll do for money, and some you'll do for fun. But the things you do for love are gonna come back to you one by one.
One thing that I really do admire about your storytelling, and that I think is very difficult to do, at least very difficult for a lot of people in my, we write for a faith-based outlet, so it seems like a lot of the writing that we get, the narratives that we get, the storytelling that we get, comes with sort of a prepackaged idea. Like there's almost a sermon that they're trying to fool you into thinking that it's not a sermon, but you can kind of hear it in there. And if you to listen to your music when you do these sort of narratives, for it to be just pure storytelling, which is what I often feel like it is, I don't get the sense of an agenda behind it. I think that is kind of hard, and I think it's increasingly rare, and I'm wondering if that's deliberate on your part, or if that's something that you feel as well.
Well, what I would say is that I trust that anything I have to say, any editorial point that I might be making as a person behind it, will come through in the story. I would dispute that it's all literally like neutral storytelling. I would say most of these stories do have some sort of, I wouldn't say a message, but there's an angle, right? There's something like, especially First Blood on here, that's like that almost is a protest song, right? But all of them have, any text, if you read it a little bit, you say, well, where's the text coming from? Where's the narrator? How does the narrator think, and what does the author think of the narrator, right? These are with Mountain Goat stuff. What does the narrator think, and what does John think of the narrator? These are important questions. But yeah, so I don't think it's a pure storytelling. However, I also think it's important that you be able to receive it at that level, right? I don't want it to be didactic. I don't want to be telling a story where you go, oh, I'm only hearing this story so I can get his point across. Well, that's a weak story. If you plenty of people are never going to apprehend the point of a story, whether it's a book or whatever. So you should tell a story in such a way that it can just be entertainment, right? But also, I think most of these songs have a few layers beyond just getting the story through.
I'm doing this for revenge. I'm doing this to try and stay true.
That was John Darnielle from the Mountain Goats. You can read our full interview with him in the summer issue of Relevant. It is available for free. Just click the magazine tab at relevantmagazine.com. It's presented by our friends at World Vision. Okay, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback.
I woke up, that's enough. Look in the mirror, brush off the dust. Talk to me nice, don't interrupt. No need to settle, I'm on another level, yeah. I'm done with feeling low, don't take it personal. This life's a miracle, yeah. So I look up, we're matching up. No need to settle, I'm on another level, yeah. Cause when it's smooth or it's rough, I know you fill up my cup. You give me more than enough, So now I'm turning.
You're listening to Blanca and Jacqueline Carr. The song is New Day. All right, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we got talking about the scandalous Virginia state flag, the only R-rated flag in our fair nation. Mm-hmm. It's similar, it's akin to the photo that Jamie sent all of us while we've been recording this podcast of the dad in the shower. It's that scandalous. It's Jamie Ivey level scandalous, if you hear what I'm saying. So got us thinking about state flags and redesigning state flags to be more accurate to your state. we asked you, if you could redesign your state flag, what would you include to correctly represent your state? You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. Here's a few of our favorites.
I like Berto's. He gave two here. One for Florida, which his flag would be a man in a camo hat swinging an alligator around by the tail. Seems very apropos. I think for most parts of the state, I could see that on a flag. Or maybe a statue when you cross over the border. A big bronze.
Yeah.
An animatronic statue. Welcoming
I feel like
you.
if I saw that flag,
is it a rotating statue or is it a stationary statue? Like if it rotates because he's swinging...
I feel like in Florida, they're going to go. I mean, you got Disney there. We'll get the animatronic wizards who did the House of Presidents and just get them on this. Yeah. And maybe we can take little slow motion boat rides around it too, just for the fun of it, because that's half of Disney now. And the other one Berto said was the Massachusetts logo would be the logos of all the sports teams laughing at everyone else's teams. Whatever, Berto. I'm sick of you Boston people.
I agree.
But it is kind of true. Yeah, I just kind of...
I liked Tim Jacobson's for North Dakota, a flag representing our two seasons, construction and winter. And it's just very interesting that those are apparently I've never been to North Dakota.
All the cold states are like that, Emily. It's like they have 9 months of winter. And so literally if you need to do anything in life this year, you got 3 months. We got to build a house. It's like extreme makeover home edition. They are popping those houses up.
Construction season.
Oh yeah!
Wow,
Montana's like that too. Yep. All right, I like that one.
I like this one where I guess Beverly. This is like a Colbert show joke. How about all of our governors behind bars?
Beverly was.
Yeah, I see like the Monopoly get out of jail free guy with like blood oil.
It's a wait, don't tell me level pun. Like like it's a Saturday morning NPR game show pun. Noah Gerties says the Wisconsin state flag would just be a large rectangular block of cheese with a mug of beer in the middle. I like it.
Ooh. That seems right.
That sounds like
flag. A lunch. Yeah.
All these flags, I know exactly what state
lunch is. A block of cheese and a mug of beer. Jamie.
Listen, I love cheese so much.
Jamie, does that not sound like an awesome lunch to you? Like,
yes.
If someone orders you that and be like, hey, you got it. This is your lunch day. Be like, what a day.
Cheese and beer. Okay.
Well, you're talking about like those blocks, like those rectangular blocks of cheese you can buy at the grocery store. Like you just eat it. Like you just peel back the thing.
I mean, if it's listen, I just was in Italy. If it's really good cheese, I'm just going to get me a little cheese slicer and I would ask for some crackers, but there's that.
Yeah. Put some nachos, get some, you can go a nacho route. You can go, you could go cream of broccoli soup if you want. Just melt some broccoli in the mix. It's a very versatile meal. You're just one ingredient away from 5 fantastic meals. You get grilled cheese in there. You can get pretzels, whatever.
All right, Bob said for Indiana, a race car painted like a basketball stuck in traffic. Which I love people coming out here like throwing heat at their state. Like, man, the traffic's too bad here, apparently, in Indiana, is what he's kind of saying, I guess.
So much that we need to put it on the state flag.
Yes.
I can't tell
Along with North Dakota.
I can't tell if Sarah is tweeting us the answer to the question or like a new country album I haven't heard of. Because she wrote Kentucky Bourbon and Horses. Like if someone were to tell me, have you heard of the new album from Kentucky? Bourbon and Horses? No, let's fire it up.
Kevin Marcus said,
give it a shot, man.
He's just upset. He's just literally said, this is his tweet. Yeah. This is his response. We said, you want to redesign your state flag with some things that'll be very specific to your state. He said, literally someone cutting off their nose to spite their face is their state flag, because that's the official policy of the entire rest of the state of Pennsylvania toward its largest city. Pray for my strength in the Lord, y'all. He's not having it.
He's not happy.
He needs
very
some prayers.
Specific. Yeah, that seems like
he needs to go to spend some time in Kentucky and have some bourbon and hang out with horses and just take the edge off.
I mean,
cheese and beer too. While you're at it.
Those states seem super chill. It's an East Coast thing, I think. East Coast, we got Boston literally bullying people on the flag. We have Florida doing something wild and reckless for everyone to see.
The R-rated Virginia. We got somebody cutting off their nose to spite their face in Pennsylvania.
You go about 300 miles west, and they're just like, I don't know, we got bourbon, horses, cheese, and beer. Just kind of doing our thing.
All right. Well, there's a lot more where that came from. We appreciate all y'all's replies. Okay, it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
All right. Well, at the beginning of the show, we got talking about melting runways and cold milk baths as ways to beat the heat. We want to know your way to beat the heat, and don't just say go in the air conditioning. Let's assume you're living on the West Coast or in Paris where they don't have air conditioning because it doesn't get very hot. So what should Tyler do to beat the heat in his suffocatingly hot Parisian apartment? Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can reply on IG as well when we post it in our stories. Okay, before we wrap things up, I want to give a couple updates. First of all, I want to thank John Darnielle for joining us today. Don't forget to check out our full conversation with him in the newest issue of Relevant. It's available right now for free. Just click the magazine at relevantmagazine.com. It's presented by World Vision. Make sure to check out their amazing work. You'll also see features with the likes of Jon Favreau, James Vincent McMorrow, Rainn Wilson, Maverick City Music's Naomi Raine, and a lot more. Go check it out. Also, if you are a Relevant Plus subscriber, you get an enhanced, ad-free, beautifully designed version of the issue, and it's available for your download now in your dashboard at relevantmagazine.com. If you haven't signed up for Relevant Plus, it is a great way to experience all that we produce. You get unlimited ad-free reading at relevantmagazine.com. You get this podcast released early and also ad-free. You get an exclusive subscriber podcast every week. You also get, like I mentioned, an enhanced, beautiful edition of our digital issue, and plans start as low as $2.50 a month. We also drop exclusives and other things throughout the month, throughout the year as well. So make sure to check it out. Relevant Plus. It's a great option for experiencing our content ad-free. Also, if you like the music on this show, check out our Spotify playlist. We've got not only the Heard on the Relevant Podcast playlist, but we have Relevant Worship and Indie and Hip Hop. We're adding to them every week. And it's a, good background music for your workday. Go check it out. And make sure that relevantmagazine.com is part of your daily web browsing. We're publishing from morning to night every weekday over at relevantmagazine.com, covering the intersection of faith, life, culture, and justice like no one else. You don't want to miss a thing. Go check it out. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Gary.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week, everyone.
For listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Everyone on earth just drink insane amounts of milk, and maybe we'll all get through this.
Relevant Podcast Network.